HorrorDeconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the HorrorDeconstruction. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, but most likely on YouTube. Give us a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button with your host Komp and
Sandman, Candyman's mortal enemy.
And today's film is
Candyman, 2021 version though.
Candyman 2021. A sequel to the horror film. Listen to this lazy explanation. A sequel to the horror film Candyman 1992 that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. Okay? That's
a pretty accurate, though.
I know, but if you want to be a real storyteller, you don't mention the first movie. You just say blah, 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 like the nonsense that I write. Okay, directed by Nia DaCosta, written by Jordan Peele. Oh, Jordan Peele, who wrote Get Out and directed Get Out. Screenplay by...
Yeah, we knew that.
And also Win Rosenfeld and Nia DaCosta, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, or unless it's I would assume it's the second, Teyana Paris and Nathan Stewart Jarrett. So, then why did I pick Candyman 2021?
Because it's new and it's good, supposedly. I haven't said yet if it is. Yeah.
If you say it's bad, you're racist. All right. So Candyman obviously is a sequel to the 1990s film from way back when that we covered on this show and we thought was pretty good.
I think we covered the first one and then you did the second one.
And you said that you think that he's probably one of your favorite slashers of all time, just that he's so interesting.
He's wonderful. Yeah,
he's great. Tony
Todd is like a fucking legend.
Tony Todd is too good for any material that he is in, because I think Candyman is the only material that like fully utilized him as an actor. I can't say that I've seen every Tony Todd film, but he's been like, once you see Death House, you're like, oh shit, poor Tony Todd. But just to recap the original Candyman. So it was about this woman. What the hell was her name? It's not Alice.
Helen.
Alice is from Helen.
Helen.
So Helen was this woman who wanted to do. Basically, what I hadn't picked up when I first saw it was basically, these sort of privileged people going into a neighborhood. The scary part of that
she was doing like a college thesis on it or something. Yeah.
About this whole neighborhood that's fucked up and haunted by the Candyman idea. And what I didn't realize at the time is that it was a film about, a privileged person going into a neighborhood that's not as well done. And, essentially it was like a scary movie for white people just to see how scary the neighborhoods. I didn't even need Candyman. If you just showed the neighborhood, the white people would be like, oh my God, and they just run out the building and shit. That's what that film was about. And it's so funny because you know how everybody's so fucking brainwashed nowadays to be offended? Either you're offended by left-wing ideas or right-wing ideas, because now people are like, oh, why this Candyman movie has to be so woke?
Yeah, what do you
mean?
Shit,
really?
What else would it be about?
What do you think the first movie's
exactly
about?
What it's about?
You stupid assholes! Of course, this is the movie's about. It's about racial injustice, you dummy. Even though I don't think that's not what the original
that
story
reminds me, there was a guy who wrote Tom Morello on Twitter, like, why does your music have to be so political? Like, when did you become so political? Or something like that. It's like, what are you talking about?
I bet you Tom
is stupid.
I bet you when Tom Morello saw that, he grew hair and then pulled it out of his fucking head, because that's
he responded really funny. Actually, it's like, what machine did you think I was, raging against?
Who was that? There was also that political guy. He used to be Speaker of the House. The guy who listened to Rage Against the Machine, but he was like the full right wing guy, and he got all pissed off about Rage Against the Machine. It's like, listen, just pay attention to the fucking lyrics, dummy. Anyway,
you don't need to be that smart. Anyway, go on.
So, back with this film. So people were like already up in arms before this movie was released. You know what type of people were already pissed off about how this movie was coming out. Then obviously
the exact people that need to absorb the message of the movie but are not smart enough to do so.
Yeah, and then also how the film ends, because I think I hadn't noticed really something else, but there's the YouTube channel. What Did I Just Watch? She made a very good point about, because at the very end, because I have spoilers for everybody, that they're like, oh, they killed cops in this movie, and then she was like, this was the only movie that like they were upset. Oh my God, they killed the cops at the end. Oh my God, this is too woke. What other movie did we see where it was like a fucking massacre inside of a police station, which was Malignant, right? Nobody said one
Also
fucking
Terminator.
thing, right?
But yeah, no, that's a really good point, actually.
Nobody. So what? So Lady Shasha said that. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. I didn't even notice that. That nobody gave a flying fuck.
Because there wasn't racial tones to it.
You
so
even hardly see
offended.
right. You hardly see a cop get killed in this movie. You just see him like off screen mostly.
You can automatically tell anybody that would be offended by that is a fucking bootlicker. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. But anyway, so back to this film. So this movie is a direct sequel to the first film. I think it still might be a loose sequel to the second one, actually, because
the second one is forgettable in my opinion.
Right. I actually the second episode, the second film. I don't know if it comes out before this one. I reviewed the second film, and I didn't hate it, but it's not. It doesn't have the weight of the first film, because the reason why the first film was so good, it was literally like a woman from one area of life walking into another, and that was the scary aspect, because she realized there was a larger world.
She got like sucked into that world,
right?
Cool.
And if you know the second film, it ended up showing that Candyman he comes to New Orleans for some reason. So I don't know if he took like a ghost.
It was
train.
Before Tony Todd made his appearance in Hatchet. He stops being Candyman and does that instead.
He took a ghost train from Chicago to New Orleans. But yeah, so then that was a little bit more like I don't know. I actually liked his suit in that one too, because he had like a big black like overcoat. As
He's
opposed
just
to this
so
puffy
good.
suit.
I think
He's just a cool actor,
I think this Candyman version was. What am I hearing? Was good too, but Tony Todd has like a special.
Tony Todd is Candyman. You know, that's the thing with this, is that they They were like, oh, is he gonna be in it? Is he not gonna be in it? Is he not gonna be in it? So I was upset that he wasn't the Candyman in the film. Yeah. But I was not upset at the.
I like the idea though that there's multiple Candyman.
he's like a networking Candyman. He like hires other Candymen to do his business.
Yeah. Did they take turns? Like somebody says, and he's like, "Who wants to kill him? Is it me? Is it you?" It's like they flip a coin for it.
It's like that old Warner Brothers cartoon where the fucking the wolf and the sheep punch their clocks in, and it's just a different.
Yeah.
But I believe that he's the same Candyman. He's just possessing these other forms, which doesn't make any sense. That doesn't.
No,
make any sense.
I think there's a bunch of them.
No, I know that, but I think they're still being possessed by him. That's the thing. Like, obviously,
why?
I don't know. You know what? I forget it.
I think they're individual. I think they're individual ghosts.
So with this sequel, we come how many years from this? 1992. So it's.
Was it 92? I thought it was like 96 or something.
That's what I thought too, but I guess not. I think the sequel was probably 1996. So anyway, Nia DaCosta directs this, and you know it was a big deal for this young lady to direct this film, and she's
also in the Marvel universe too.
I'm very after I saw just from the opening credits of the film, you know, where it's like showing. I guess it's the reverse of the first film, because the first film we saw the top of the the cityscape. In this one, she reverses it, so the camera is like shooting upward to these buildings disappearing in the fog.
Yeah, lots of cool mirror
gorgeous
tricks in this one.
Yeah, gorgeous look. This is a gorgeous look. This is why I'm okay with. I'm fine with Captain Marvel 2, because Captain Marvel 1 I didn't really give a shit. It was okay. It was fine. It's sort of that Marvel thing. It's just the same origin.
It says here she was inspired by Apocalypse Now, which is that gives you an idea of her taste level.
Right. So, but visually speaking, and the way that the film looks, it has one of the best fucking kills I've ever seen, and it's like from far away. One of the best kills I've ever seen. I'll get to it. But I have no problem with Captain Marvel 2, at least aesthetically. But I'm sure Marvel will like barge their fucking elbows.
I am excited for everything Marvel puts out. I'm a big nerd with that.
Yeah, but anyway, so just visually, just stunning, and we follow Yahya Abdul-Mateen, and this is like a story point that people had been like spoiling from the beginning, or their theories were actually correct, that Anthony McCoy is the grown-up version of the little baby from the first film. And I was like, okay, because you know when you see the trailer, they actually have the same actress, Vanessa Williams, from the first film, and
the one whose baby was stolen.
Right, and she looks exactly the fucking same. Like this lady, I don't know how old she is. She looks like she just walked out of the first film into this one, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's unbelievable how young this is. Her and that lady that played
Good for her.
Her and the lady that played Tina Turner, the woman that's always on American Horror Story. I cannot remember her name. She's like these two actresses.
And Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett. They're like these women in their 60s or early 60s, and they look nothing like it. You see another person of
They have
any
good skin
genes,
moisturizing
absolutely.
regimens.
But anyway, these women are still gorgeous at this age. Anyway, I look like shit now, and anyway, so
Yeah, but you always have though.
That's true. Well, that's true. So
you consistently look like shit. So do I.
There's no change, so people can't feel worse. So Anthony McCoy is this young artist. Apparently, Cabrini Green has been repaved, retooled. That was something I gentrified. I was sort of let down that we didn't go back into Cabrini Greens again. Do you know what I mean? Like that neighborhood, that sort of urban horror, because it's been cleaned up. You know what I mean? All those people have been pushed out further into probably the fucking ocean. I don't know where those people live now, but they explain
really happening everywhere in America. So.
Yeah, they have an explanation about how gentrification works in the film and all this stuff, where they essentially buy land and then they slowly creep in and start infesting in these poorer neighborhoods until
and I hate
they
that
raise
fucking critic what she said about artists, because I've heard that shit too.
Go ahead, say what she said.
She said it's artists' fault for gentrification because they go and they buy cheap stuff and blah, blah, blah. It's like, artists create culture, and artists are also the local people that live there. What the fuck are you saying? Like,
yeah, so the only thing that I thought was a little off about... We'll get into the storyline a little bit, because I really liked this film a lot. Like, I was like back and forth about this being my favorite so far of 2021, but I still might be Fear Street, just because the ending is a little too wonky for me with this one. But it does a good explanation of gentrification. My only thing with this film is that, like, with Candyman in the first film, like, he killed everybody. Like, he killed, like, black characters and white characters. In this one, he seems to have, like, changed his ideal and turned into, like, a racial injustice, like, ambassador.
They do kill one black guy in this. But that
wasn't Candyman killing him. You understand? That was, like, the girl killing him. You know what I mean? So Candyman was, like, now realized, you know, he's...
Wait, what do you mean, the girl killing him?
Which African
American
guy died in this?
Remember when it shows the flashback and you see the sister is in the bathroom?
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. But maybe from the 70s he changed it now. He's only killing white people. I have no problem with him killing just who he kills in this film. It's just that I want him to kill everybody, because then you realize nobody else is really in danger. But it's weird that...
No, I like the idea that he only kills white people. It's people in this movie fucking deserve it.
But for me, the weird thing is that Candyman, the idea is strange, because if he did that to Helen, that makes sense, because he's fucking up a white person's life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like directly fucking up.
But whatever happens with Helen, because she becomes like a Candyman. I don't know if that.
I guess they didn't want to do it in this one. I guess, but you know what? I'm glad. Like, I felt happy because they did that sort of weird thing where they explain what happened in the first film there's really cool shadow puppet stories.
Yeah, that was
great. They do back and forth, beautiful shadow puppets. I've seen shadow puppets done before horribly. So when you see them actually done really good,
and the credits were really cool too.
Beautiful looking work. So they explain Helen's story in the first one, and they sort of frame her as being a psychopath who got obsessed with the Candyman theory, and she fucked everybody else, which is what people thought in the first film. And no
one's going to believe this.
But remember in the second one, they had a cop in the second one. They kill Candyman actually kills a guy, makes him float in the air, and they capture it on video. So the fact that isn't giant news on television of a man floating getting slashed in half, nobody says anything. But anyway, enough of that. But I did like that they give Helen props. Like the woman Anne Marie McCoy, his mother, says Helen saved your life. You know. Helen was like, so...
Yeah, but only the people in that little area know about it.
Right. But going back to what he's doing is that Candyman really fucked up this young black man's life. This guy's a promising artist. And he essentially took him over to make him look guilty for killing other white men. And I'm like, aren't you just perpetuating the same shit like Candyman? Like, you're just making another black guy look guilty.
Well, I guess he wants... I guess he wants some kind of, Avenger ghost for racial justice.
I know, but why is he doing it to another black guy? Like, wouldn't he do it to a white guy?
Because the Tony Todd, Daniel Robitaille, whatever his name, wanted that specific guy for some kind of sacrifice. So I guess and it's weird because fulfilling it.
With the explanation of this film, he's able to take the personas of everybody else who's got killed racially, in without justice. And so, what does he?
Yeah,
do
I don't
with it?
believe it's him taking the persona. I believe that they're individual.
Right.
Like,
So I don't know why he like is taking over this one guy in particular. What was so special about him? Because he's the whole reason. You know, I think he wanted to take him over in the first film. It's still a little muddy for me. Maybe I have
for
to
some reason,
rewatch
I
the
kept
first
thinking
film.
of the movie My Girl when he gets stung by the bee and is getting all like fucked up.
So that's the only reason why there's a connection to me for the second one, because it says that he got the daughter of the aristocrat pregnant, because that girl in the second movie is his great granddaughter or something like that, great granddaughter.
Right.
And there was a trailer for. I was like, oh, it's not so bad. Candyman 2. Then I looked at the trailer for Candyman 3. I was like, nah, that's about it. Like, I don't need to see Candyman 3 because it looked like.
I think I watched it like initially, but
it looked so
I remember
cheap. I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch this one." But anyway, so back into the film, we have Anthony McCoy, and he's dating a very pretty young lady called Tiana Paris, who's playing Brianna Cartwright.
I need to find an art gallery curator
girlfriend
who's
like
rich
that. Yeah.
could like
Yeah,
and hot, and will
yeah, I know, and she's
take
hot,
care of me.
and she's rich, and she's take care of you,
and she'll take care of me. Like,
but the
come
thing
on.
is, Daddy, you gotta
any lady is please.
Danny,
please.
you gotta. The problem is you gotta look like Yahya Abdul-Mateen. So you gotta like. I look at
I
this
gotta
guy.
get in shape and stuff. Yeah.
I look at this guy and I was like putting down all the fucking sugary snacks. I was like, this motherfucker's too built. No wonder he's an
Yeah,
artist.
no. Every time it shows him, it's like, oh my god. It's
Anytime,
like,
I'm like, anytime he's not realistically, anytime that he's not painting, he should be lifting weights because that's how the fuck he looks like. He's just like lifting.
Right.
If you've also seen, did you ever get to?
he has weighted paintbrushes.
It's like Dragon
And he
Ball.
wears he
drops
wears
the
yeah,
paint-
I'm gonna say he wears
drops the
like
paintbrush.
a smock, but it's weighted like Piccolo's cape.
It's like Dragon Ball where he'll drop the paintbrush and it goes through 2 fucking floors.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to watch Watchmen, the TV series by HBO?
I didn't watch the show. No, I watched the movie though.
Yeah, watch the show. He plays a main character now. He's great in that too. So Yahya Abdul-Mateen is a really fucking good actor in this. Like, and it's like
I felt like I kind of knew his face, but like I wasn't sure.
he's
like,
in a bunch of things. I'm trying to think of what else he was in, but he's a very good actor. And the thing that I like about this film that I have not seen in a long, long time is how realistic these people react to this shit.
yeah.
Like, they get fucking scared. Like, this part where he's in the elevator and he spooks, like, he's like fucking spooked out
he's
by
in
what he
Us.
saw.
He's in Us.
He wasn't.
And
no.
in Matrix Resurrection. Yeah, he is.
He's
And
apparently playing the new. He wasn't.
He's in the new
husband
Matrix, but he's in Us as a probably not a main character, and he's in
No, yeah.
Black Mirror.
But so, and especially the girlfriend, Brianna Cartwright. She's the smartest. She's one of the smartest characters I've ever seen in a horror film. Because once her boyfriend acts strange once, she's fucking out of there. She's out.
Yeah, she's like, get the fuck out. Like,
She's out of there. You know what I mean? And then especially, and then she kills the bad guy Coleman Domingo. Coleman Domingo's another great fucking actor. He plays William
Yeah.
Burke. It's so funny because that's a little weird.
kind of like a villain, but you kind of understand what
He
he's
is a
doing,
villain.
too.
No, he is a bad guy. And but it's almost like there was like a switch because he's sort of like this aloof, weird, soothsayer at the beginning, and then at the end he's like the Joker or something. Like he's like over the top at the end. And that's like you could tell that's like a thespian actor change because he's like chewing up the scenery. But I liked it anyway. I still was a little confused of why he did what he did. Like why did he do it? Like, do you know why?
Because I think he wanted to make sure that they had a continuation for justice.
Okay, because I know there's like but I mean Candyman was gonna
Candyman's
do it
killing
anyway,
all white
right?
people, like so.
So, but
I guess
Candyman would have done it anyway. Like he didn't need. Anthony
Yeah, but
McCoy,
getting the
right?
name out there. And
I see.
Even
though it happened to his own
building
sister,
the legend, building
even
the
though
legend.
even though it happened to his own sister, like you would think he would like be like Jesus, like not do it. But I guess
you lose your mind when you see somebody get.
I guess I would
by a
too. Yeah.
ghost.
I wonder if
don't
he
know.
got in trouble for it too or whatever. But yeah, the kills mostly in this film are not close up, which is a little upsetting to me. Although
I do enjoy the mirror kills when you see like in
Right.
the small mirror like background. So there's a lot of little stuff I noticed like
the
very
people
quick
the people that Candyman kills in this film are not like odious people. They're sort of just assholes. They're not like, well, at the end they're assholes. Like
I mean,
cops
well,
at the end, yeah.
cops. I mean,
Them. I'm not
thrilled
talking about
with
them. I'm talking about like art critics and and art people. Like they're not fucking like they're scumbags, but they're scumbags within the level.
Yeah, they don't deserve to die, perhaps.
Yeah, they deserve to
but
be
I don't
embarrassed.
mind that they're dead.
That's fine. But like to go back, like the gore is not as explicit as the original film. But I don't even remember if the original film was that gory in the first place.
There's a good neck slash in there.
Yeah, but I gotta say my favorite kill in this film, and a favorite kill like out of a lot of horror films, is the art critic, the woman, when you see her from far away and she just lifts up like a rag doll and you see her choking and struggling. I thought, to me, that was one of the most eeriest images I've ever seen, and the fact that it was played so far away and you could tell what was going on just because of the radical movements of her body, it was so fucking unsettling. I loved it. I thought that's one of the greatest kills I've ever seen in a movie. It's graphic and not graphic at the same time. But then there's also, the original, the guy, the curator, and his girlfriend, who gets killed at the beginning of the film. What did you think of the quote-unquote new Candyman guy? The weird guy with the hook for that.
Sherman, I think his name is in this.
That guy looked fucking dope, yo. That guy was
he's a creepy guy. Yeah, he's creepy. He's not, it doesn't have the impact of Tony Todd still, but he was good. Like,
I thought he was like, you could have gone a lot worse. Like, I bet you if they would have rebooted it would have been like a white Candyman.
Yeah, right.
Hey dudes, it's time to die, bro! Like that. But I think Michael Hargrove as Sherman Fields is fucking great because he just has this. First of all, he's a weirdo. Anyway, because he I love that scene because the whole storyline. I think one of the original ideas of Candyman when they did the film, their first film, there was a lady. I think it was a Ruthie or Ruby. She was a woman that was in the real Cabrini Greens. They took this storyline and they merged it with the original Candyman that what's your boy's name? What's his name? Clive Barker wrote.
What, Tony Todd?
Clive Barker.
Clive Barker.
The guy who wrote the original story. Because Candyman wasn't like
but it was set in like London or something.
Right, it was a completely different type of story and they changed it because of
because he's a British guy. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He probably watched the film and was like, oh, what is this about? Anyway. But the original, a real true story that happened over there, I think the name was like Ruthie. They alluded to it in the actual film, also both films, I think, or it might just been in the first one. This woman who lived in the Cabrini Greens, she was like this woman who's I believe she had mental issues, and she was in her apartment, and somebody climbed in from an empty apartment nearby and pushed out the window in her bathroom. I mean, the mirror in her bathroom, and they shot her to death. So all these people, she was calling the cops, and all these people could hear her screaming in her apartment. Why she didn't leave her apartment, I don't know. But she apparently, they heard glass break and they heard shots, and then they go into the apartment.
Oh, and the cops didn't believe her, right?
Right. And the thing is, they went into the apartment. This is a true story. Like, this is an actual true story. And they went into her apartment, and they found her body, and they found the mirror missing from the apartment. So like that. I don't know if they ever found the guy who did it.
So somebody came in through her fucking bathroom wall, essentially.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So that was one of the genesises of fixing the storyline for the first film to match Clive Barker's story. So like that idea of somebody who's gonna fucking, and you've ever seen TikTok videos of people that there's adjoining apartments and they actually unscrew their mirrors and you can walk into a different apartment or a different corridor and it's fucking scary. So that idea. It's not fully utilized in here. It was fully utilized in the first film, but in this, like it's a completely different thing, and the whole area has changed. It's more about like the bourgeoisie, or I guess racial identity.
I do feel like they did more like mirror stuff in this one, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I didn't. In the first film, it wasn't about seeing Candyman killing people through reflections. That was just a completely different thing that was made up.
He just got summoned through a mirror, but with this, it's like all about like he exists in the mirrors and stuff. Like it was cool.
Yeah. So I think what really, and then the soundtrack, I think is a new soundtrack. I heard that Philip Glass's stuff had been put back in, but I didn't see his name anywhere.
There's a little bit of that original in there, but I don't think the soundtrack was as good, but it was okay.
Yeah, I think it still worked for the film itself, especially the opening credits. I can't say that I paid attention to the music during the film. I paid attention to it, I think, the opening credits and stuff like that. And anytime it was silent,
there were a couple points that I was like, "Oh, this is good." Like,
And so other characters are like Troy Cartwright, which is Brianna's brother, played by Nathan Stewart Jarrett. He's like the funny guy that like makes sense. He was his character is gay. and he's funny. And his young boyfriend, I think it's Grady Greenberg, played by Kyle Kaminski.
Okay.
I think that's his boyfriend, but the guy looks like jacked up in this photo, and he looks like very small in the film. I can't be too sure, but they're funny. They're like a sort of a realistic, sort of rich boyfriend couple. You know what I mean? This sort of art scene. I do feel that the film was missing something, but I don't know what it is. I like the film outright.
Tony Todd.
There's no question that's just missing because you don't have him going, be my victim, throughout the whole movie and stuff like that. Yeah. My only issue is that there's something missing in it. Like, there's some sort of there's no urban decay like the first film. Like, there's no putting eyes on. It's like a completely different sort of how gentrification affects even wealthy, African Americans and stuff like that. I can't speak on an issue because I'm not African American.
Gentrification just destroys culture. That's what
absolutely.
I hate it.
And my only thing at the end is that the ending is a little bit kind of slapdash to me, where the cops here's the thing with cops, it almost feels like not cops in general, but
I'm not gonna get started.
No, I don't want you to get started. But cops in these types of films. In this type of film, they decided to go, and I have no problems with you portraying cops as bad guys. That's fine. We know in these films, there's no question about what's going on.
They don't even have to act. They just hire real cops. And
but in this one, the cop at the end, the one cop at the end who has her in the car is so over the top, mustache twirling. You might get arrested.
It was a little too on the nose.
It was too on the nose, and I was like, because in real life, when there's bad cops doing shit, they do it like it's nothing. They don't even do it with an inflection of
they're
that.
Sociopaths,
right? So in this, when he's like, "Oh, you were helping your boyfriend," and I was like, "Oh, come on, just get on with it. Enough of this."
Yeah, they should have toned that down.
It was way too
or so.
Because the scarier aspect of what those cops do in real life is they'll fucking do it with nothing. Because they know that they're above the law to not fucking get arrested for anything and their own problem. You know what they get? There's cops that shoot unarmed people in hotels.
They have whatever immunity. So
there's video.
Their unions are the only unions I'm against.
There's videos of a cop shooting an unarmed guy who's crawling towards him, and you know what he got? He got
it was
to
just
retire.
A thing about some person who's a paraplegic that they were
right. They pulled him by his hair out of a car, but this guy got to retire, and then he also got extra kick in his money because he has social. He was psychologically scared by what happened with the whole situation.
Well, all I know is that the ending of this is just one big semi for me. I loved it.
Yeah, and the part where
that particular scene, not the necessarily the explanation or the confusingness of the multiple Candyman explanation.
Yeah. But I was pleasantly surprised by the film. My only thing is with Tony Todd coming out at the end, you can tell they digitally de-aged him. I almost feel like they just shot his face somewhere else and just digitally composited it onto the body, because it seems like he's not. It was literally he's in the movie for literally 3 seconds where he's tell them about me or something like that's the ending. But he looked like a weird version of Mysterio. That part when he's coming out and he just has a bee, a swarm of bees.
Oh, the head of bees, yeah. That
was cool. That is so fucking dope. And he fucked Brianna Cartwright also. He fucked her life up also. Because now she's gonna be she's around 6 dead cops. I don't know how police would believe this young woman would slash all these people to death or in a magical way.
No, but there's fucking video. I mean, although then again, they probably didn't activate their fucking body cams.
Right. And also, they didn't show that. I thought that was weird when they did. I guess it was for a reason they didn't show Anthony get shot to death. They just it was that was the weirdest staging for me when she has him in her arms,
and then she was sitting in a different spot.
Yeah, it closes up to her face, and it almost felt like I was looking at a stage play because then it cut to
maybe Jordan Peele did that as a courtesy to not show a black guy getting murdered by cops.
Probably, because then it moved to a silhouette of a cop with their gun out, which was what is this? What am I looking at? But that was the only it only gets for me. It only gets clunky the last five.
Yeah,
minutes
I know what you're
film.
saying. But I
So
did
there was
enjoy
some,
watching
there
all
was
the
some
cops
weird,
get massacred.
there was some, yeah, well, that's you, yeah. So there was some awkwardness in the last 5 minutes of the film, and we understand now why Candyman wants people to say his name so he could stay, I guess, quote unquote, alive in the film. But I thought the rest of the film was pretty fucking like, I think it had a great atmosphere and a mood to it. It's just that there's something.
It's so well shot too.
Yeah, there was something missing in it, but it wasn't missing enough that like I was like, oh fuck, I can't enjoy the film. It's just that
it wasn't as scary to me.
Right. I think it has a good mood, but it's not
a lot
scary
more
as a
like
person.
social justice, which is good for this instance, but not enough scary feeling.
It's not the type of social justice where they tell men to sit down to pee, because it's the other type, the stuff that
or something.
Yeah, this is the one that actually people are affected by. I think that I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I thought the acting was great. The fucking cinematography, the camera work is fucking gorgeous. I can't get enough of the actors in this film. I would love to see more, African American horror films that are like to this level, like they care. You know what I mean? Like that. Like the
Jordan
the
Peele is
give him
pretty
money.
much 3 for 3 at this point.
Yeah. And his next movie is called Nope, which I'm sure it'll be like fucking. There will be some.
I do think of the 3 he's made, this is probably the best, followed by Get Out, followed by Us.
Well, he wrote this, but yeah, I understand what you're saying by producing it. I think this is his sleekest production, but all this goes to Nia DaCosta, and I'm so glad. Yeah. This makes me think that. Did you get to watch?
Now I'm excited for the Marvel movie.
Did you watch the WandaVision show?
What?
Did you watch WandaVision? You saw WandaVision, right?
Yeah, I saw WandaVision.
So I know now that like it makes me wonder if they're gonna focus a lot more. Or at least they're gonna give credit to the second Miss Marvel.
Is she focused? Wait, is she part of WandaVision?
The young lady, the woman that gets zapped. The other character, the secondary.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. What about her?
Is it Tiana Paris? Oh shit, I didn't even recognize it was the same fucking actress. She played Monica Rambeau. Why did I not recognize? I knew I recognized her, but she's
shit.
So the new, I know, right? She looks completely different. But in the Marvels, it's basically they're gonna take the 3 Marvel, because I guess like people are so upset at Brie Larson for breathing, but then also Brie Larson says shit like,
why are they mad at Brie Larson?
Because Brie Larson has a vagina. That's why a lot of guys online are pissed off at her. But also, Brie Larson, when she promotes films,
the character is a female. What the fuck are they talking about?
Well, there you go. But that's what guys get upset about. But with Brie Larson, she used to say things like when they talked about movie, I forgot, there was a movie that came out that was directed by this African American director, and she said, we don't need any reviews by white male reviewers or something like that. And of course that is like a firestorm to piss off angry whoever the fuck listens to it. So they're so upset that like there's guys that follow her YouTube channel and like get pissed off at her doing yoga and shit like that. So it's like weird. But I think Disney sniffed that and they were like, oh shit, we can't lose anybody watching these films. That's why they're so like quiet about everything.
Right.
So this Marvel's film is going to be her, Brie Larson. So it's not like a main character. It's like 3 people doing stuff. So it's Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau, and then there's another character played by I think she's an Indian actress, playing Iman Vellani, who's playing Kamala Khan, who's another version of Miss Marvel, but she's playing a Pakistani character, or I don't know if it's reversed. But she's also getting her own show. So this film is going to be like 3 women that are Captain Marvel. I guess I don't know what they're going to do, but I mean, you see their power levels. So I mean, that's got to be a pretty fucking gigantic film. Like they're not just going to fight bankers and shit. They got to fight somebody. So I'm really like glad that like Nia DaCosta is a part of it, because she clearly has directing chops, and she's fucking good. Like I haven't seen anything else that she's done, but she clearly knows how to tell the story. She hasn't done much, especially a horror film like this. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to do a horror film. Every other horror film is like just fucking awful, but this had a great mood to it. And so my rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Trying to pound out the young ingenue artist that you get to I guess that guy Harvey Weinsteined her. She gets up slashed, and he ends up getting slashed because the Candyman doesn't care about women's rights. He cares about slashers' rights. Danny, what rating would you give Candyman 2021?
I give it an 8 out of 10. Taking a poop and putting on headphones when your bullies are getting murdered.
And with that,
2 feet
Danny,
from you.
This has been the Horror Deconstruction. What's the final word, Danny?
Toe calluses.
The Horror Deconstruction.